What if I told you that your brain is your biggest liar? Yep, you heard me right. Right now, at this very second, it's probably playing tricks on you. And you know what the craziest part is? It's doing it to protect you. Sounds like the plot of a new Black Mirror episode, right? But what if this is our reality? About 100 years ago, a very smart Austrian guy named Sigmund Freud, yep, the same grandpa with the beard from the memes, came up with a theory. He said that our mind has a built-in security system, a kind of psychological immune system. Freud called it defense mechanisms. Imagine something unpleasant bursting into your life, intense stress at school, bad news, a hater's comment under your post. At that moment, the system activates. Like a loyal bodyguard, it tries to shield you from pain, from everything that could shake your mental balance. But what if your personal bodyguard overdid it a little and started seeing a threat in every corner? Here's the simplest and most common example: denial. You know that feeling when you look at your grades at the end of the semester, see something, well, let's just say not exactly excellent, and think, come on, everything's under control, there's still time. Although, in reality, you're one step away from an epic fail. That's it. Your brain simply refuses to accept reality because it's too painful. Be honest with yourself. When was the last time you put on those rose-colored glasses to avoid seeing the obvious? Let's move on. Projection. Are you annoyed to death by your colleague who is constantly lazy and does nothing, or a friend who is always whining? But what if you're a bit of a slacker yourself, or you like to complain about life, but you don't want to admit it to yourself? Freud would say that you are projecting your not-so-great qualities onto another person. It's a brilliant trick. Instead of fighting with yourself, you start fighting with them. Why do we so easily notice a speck in someone else's eye? Maybe because it's from our own. What if by blaming others, we are actually screaming about our own problems? And what about rationalization? Oh, this is my personal favorite. It's the art of finding logical justifications for our most irrational actions. You just spent your last money on super fashionable sneakers, although the old ones are still quite good. Why? Well, it's an investment in my health and in my motivation to go to the gym. Sounds so convincing, right? But what if it's just a beautiful, well-packaged lie that we happily sell to ourselves to drown out the voice of conscience? And finally, the cherry on this cake of self-deception is the Dunning-Kruger effect. The formula's simple. The less you know, the more confident you are in your genius. You've definitely seen these guys on the internet. Armchair experts who are ready to teach you how to run a country, cure diseases, and build spaceships, foaming at the mouth. Whispering, their brain protects them from the terrible, unbearable truth that they understand absolutely nothing about it. And that, in a way, is even cute. Sharp change of tone. Seriously. But wait, don't rush to declare war on your own mind. It's not as straightforward as it seems. Calmly and thoughtfully. Sometimes these mechanisms are the only thing that save us. They help us survive trauma, cope with loss, get through a painful breakup. Metaphor. They're like a painkiller for the soul. Yes, they don't treat the cause, but they give us time to come to our senses and gather our strength. But here's the main mystery. Where is the line? The line between a healthy defense that helps us survive and a toxic self-deception that drags us down and prevents us from growing. Inspiring. Your brain is not an enemy. It's an incredibly complex and powerful tool, and like any tool, you just need to learn how to use it. Confidential. Understanding its tricks, its little deceptions, is the first step. A step towards becoming the true master of your reality, not its eternal hostage. With a smile. So the next time you catch yourself in one of these tricks, don't beat yourself up. Just wink at your reflection and say, "Aha, I see you." By the way, I'm curious, what defense mechanism do you most often notice in yourself or your friends? Don't be shy. Write in the comments. Let's see who we have more of here.